So you can see a picture of the favorite pakoras, right? You love to eat them, but have you ever imagined that how are they so crunchy, so soft, and like because of that crunchiness and softiness, it is that tasty, right? But what is the reason behind that? So it's because of a component called baking soda. Because of baking soda, your favorite pakoras are so crunchy and so soft, and which is why they are so tasty. So now let's try to study more about baking soda. So baking soda, try to see, its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is Na8CO3. So the formulas and the chemical names you need to remember, and it's baking soda. So now try to see how is it actually forming. We know that we are talking about compounds which are made from common salt, that is NaCl, sodium chloride. So sodium chloride we have initially, when it is combining with water and carbon dioxide and NH3, it's giving us NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, and Na8CO3, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, the compound which we are talking about. Okay, that is baking soda. So this is the entire reaction. You have to just remember this entire reaction. Okay, see once. Now let's go to the next page. So let's talk about the pH. The pH of sodium hydrogen carbonate is around 9. Okay, so around 9, which means what? It is towards the base, right? We know over 7, 7 is neutral. Over 7, the more it is over 7, it's more basic. So it's slightly basic, you can say. So which makes it a mild non-corrosive basic salt. A mild non-corrosive basic salt, okay, is baking soda because of its pH, which is around 9, okay, which is just slightly basic. It's not very much basic. It's not at the top at 14 or 13. So that's it. And try to see what is exactly happening to baking soda. Try to see, observe this once. 2Na8CO3, when it is heated, okay, so as you saw, it's used to make pakoras or any kind of things like which are served hot, okay, to make them fluffy and soft. So it has to be heated, and because of that heat, what is the formula, what is the reaction which is happening? Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. So this is what is actually happening when it is heated, okay. Now try to see one more thing. This baking soda we were talking about till now, if you actually combine this with a mild acid, okay, what is a mild acid? Not hydrochloric or sulfuric, they are like strong acids. We are talking about a mild acid, which is tartaric acid. You can take tartaric acid. When you are combining them both, you are adding them both, you are actually getting another compound, which is known as baking powder. So till now we talked about baking soda, which is actually making those hotly served fresh things like the pakoras, fritters and all that stuff. But now baking powder, you must understand, you have seen the making of cake, okay, or bread, and in that case baking powder is important. So let's try to study about baking powder a little bit. Okay, so Na8CO3, when you are adding with H plus, which can be from any acid, okay, and it is actually giving us CO2, carbon dioxide plus water plus sodium salt of acid. So it can be any acid. Try to see this once. H plus can be any acid, and that is giving us the sodium salt of that acid alongside carbon dioxide and water. So any acid, that particular acids which is added, you will be getting the sodium salt, okay. So as I discussed previously that for bread or for cake, this is very important, okay, to make that fluffy and soft. So carbon dioxide coming out in this reaction makes bread or cake to turn soft and spongy. So you must remember, baking powder, just stand alone baking powder is not making cake or bread soft. The carbon dioxide gas which is coming out of this reaction, what reaction are we talking about? This reaction. So the carbon dioxide gas which is coming out of this reaction is actually making the cake or the bread soft, okay. So here's a question for you. We have a dash and then gas makes bread or cake soft and spongy. So which gas makes it? So option A we have nitrogen, option B we have carbon dioxide, option C we have oxygen. The correct answer is, as we discussed, option B, carbon dioxide. What did we discuss? That baking powder alone is not making the bread or the cake soft or fluffy, whatever you can say. It's actually the carbon dioxide which is manufactured out of the reaction which is making the bread or the cake soft and fluffy. So that is it. Now let's study a little bit more about baking soda. Baking soda is alkaline, so it neutralizes the acids and is a key component in antacids. We know what are antacids. Sometimes when you eat too much, there is indigestion. You must see adults actually suffering from indigestion a lot. So in that case, they take some pills. What are those pills? Those pills are antacids. And you must remember that antacids, what does it mean? When there is acidity, indigestion means acidity. And in that case, you have to neutralize it. What can neutralize it? Something neutral, that is baking soda, it's alkaline. So it can actually neutralize that acid, and it does it in the form of antacids. So these pills you can see in front of you, they actually neutralize. Then another very important use is used in soda acid fire extinguishers. You go to any mall or any big place, you will see these fire extinguishers, right? So in a very public place, you can see these fire extinguishers which are always kept in case of emergency, and they are also made using these soda. So, okay, that is also a very key component in making these fire extinguishers. Okay, not the only component of course, but actually it is a key component. Now we are done with baking soda. We also studied about baking powder a little bit. Now we are coming to another compound, that is the washing soda. So this is the detergent which you have commonly seen. All these clothes which are dirty, it actually cleans the clothes like magically. When you apply this detergent and you wash it with water, suddenly you will see that the dirty cloth which had stains, which had like black marks or anything, they turn the same color again. They turn magically clean. And that is washing soda, that is the detergent which does it. So let's study a little bit more about it. So here also you have to understand and memorize this reaction. You have Na2CO3, that is sodium carbonate, plus 10H2O. 10H2O, it will give you Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. So basically it's very simple. You can see they're combining. It's a very simple reaction. These two things coming together, they're giving us basically the two together. That's it. So recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives washing soda, which is also a basic salt. So washing soda is also a basic salt, and recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives us that. Okay. And now washing soda, apart from like cleaning, what are the uses? So used in various industries, glass industry, soap industry, paper industry. So all these industries also washing soda is very much required. Apart from this, you can also see used in manufacturing sodium compounds like borax. Okay, so this is also a compound which can remove stains, neutralize odors and multi-purpose. So obviously it's related to cleaning in case of industries, in case of household purposes, or in case of borax. Everywhere it's actually used for cleaning. Okay, but that is it. It has varied uses. And domestic cleaning, as we talked about. Okay, so domestic cleaning, be it the plates, dishes, or your washroom, or the clothes, laundry. So in case of anything, obviously washing soda is very much important. Finally, another very important thing, hard water and soft water. So soft water is basically the water which we see, and it is actually used to remove permanent hardness of water. Because of that hardness of water, such marks can be at times. You must have seen this actually in utensils at your house, that water, when it becomes hard, it is actually making stains like these. So when you apply some washing soda to it, it can magically get back its old form. Okay, so that is another very important use of washing soda. So it has varied uses in all kinds of industries, in your households, and at many places. Okay, so in this video we studied about primarily two components which are made from NaCl, that is sodium chloride. Number one, we started with baking soda. Okay, we studied about how baking soda is formulated and what is its use. It's actually used to make, like we started with the example of the pakoras, they make it soft and fluffy. But again, when you combine baking soda with some mild acid like tartaric acid, you can get baking powder, which is again used for making obviously something soft and fluffy, but not the usual hot things which are served to you, things which like fritters or pakoras which are served to you as a fast food. It's not about that, it's about cake, or let's consider bread. Okay, so baking powder makes cake or bread fluffy and soft. And also it's not just standalone baking powder making it soft, it's actually the carbon dioxide which is coming out of the reaction which is making it soft. The another component we talked about was washing soda. Okay, washing soda, you know that it must have just one use like in cleaning in your houses, but then we understood that no, it has varied uses. It's actually used to manufacture borax which removes stains. It's multi-purpose. It's also used in various industries like glass industry, paper industry, all for cleaning purposes of course. And then finally also the household purposes we discussed in cleaning the washroom, laundry, etc. And then finally hardness of water. So water hardness, you can see water when it becomes hard, it actually makes stains like these. You can see on this side again. So it actually can remove that also potentially. So these are the uses of washing soda, and overall we studied about baking soda and washing soda. Now these are the takeaways from this video.